I'll be Lost Youth, the Smokey Robinson and the Miracles on BBC Radio Northampton. Do you know, the thing I've learnt is you can do anything. You can create your own job and see where it takes you. They became domino artists. They set up their own academy to teach domino art. They might be geniuses. I'm not sure. From Rushden's Topple Academy, Ricardo Ardito and Ryan Adamson. Hello, gents.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
You've even got the same initials. It was always meant to be, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly that.
So I had a set of dominoes at Ricardo as a kid. My sister and I played them with Mum, Dad and Nana, and it was the box with dots on, so what, 28 would it be in a
28,
box?
bang on, yeah.
And you started with the same, did you?
Exactly that, yeah. Started with that. And, you know, the game dominoes that's cool, it's fun, but it's so much more fun to just stand them up and then topple them down.
So did you see something on the telly that inspired you to do that?
I saw it on YouTube, actually. So I started back in 2010, 2011, that kind of time. I saw something on YouTube of someone stacking a bunch up and knocking them down, and I thought, you know what? I reckon I could do that. So I just did it.
And how? And then how did you hook up with each other? Because you were doing the same, Ryan, weren't you?
No, so we went to school together, so sort of year 7 time when you get sat, as you say, with the initials. So we were sat next to each other because of alphabetical order. So we just become friends from then. And it was something that he started doing. So obviously it's just natural for him to show me it.
And then
I'm nowhere near as good as him.
And then I bet it's addictive, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really satisfying because you spend so long setting them up just for a short time for them to come down, but it just feels so rewarding and it just takes you into a childlike state even at this point.
So that's what it is it? Because I was trying to work out while I've been spending way too long watching your stuff this weekend. Way too long. I was trying to work out why it is so satisfying. And it's a nostalgia thing, is it? Combined with the cleverness of the art.
Yeah, I'd probably say it is kind of like a nostalgic thing because it's a toy, it's a game at the end of the day, but it's having it see it work, and it's the process of things falling down. It's satisfying. The noise is nice to listen to. The patterns it makes, the shapes, it's so nice to see, and the colours are so vibrant. Like, it's everything that you kind of aim towards a child's toy. So then bringing it to adults as well, who isn't going to love it? Every single person loves watching them fall down.
So these aren't the dot ones. These are every conceivable colour, aren't they?
Yeah, so they're like specifically made ones.
Specifically made for domino toppling?
Yes.
Is it a
exactly
thing
that.
then, is it?
Yeah, it is a thing. I promise you it's a real thing. Yeah, that in other countries, unfortunately not in the UK, but in other countries you're able to buy precision engineered plastic dominoes. They've got specific dimensions, I can't remember off the top of my head, but they are perfectly for domino toppling. I've got them in 22 different colours, I think, and then I think about 100 different colours exist in general, but these are made for toppling. These are made so that you can get those vibrant colours, you can make those pictures, you can make that art on the ground, and there is no limits to what you can do.
You did something in September, I think Rushden Library.
That's it.
Where you had 6 tables.
I had 6 tables.
So they were all linked together and different designs on each table. You must have designed that beforehand. Had you written something down? Had you gone on computer to map it out?
Sometimes we would do that, yes. For one of the tables, yes, because I'd written Library Plus, that logo, on one of the tables. I had to plan that because then I used the template to push all of those dominoes in the exact position for that to read as that. The rest of it, I just kind of winged it because it's just patterns, it's just shapes. It's as if you were drawing, but you're placing each individual domino to do that. So it's just making those shapes and knowing that this is going to work, this is going to fall in this precise pattern, and then just linking it all together. And like that's the fun of it. It's freedom.
I mean, that's learnt over time, isn't it, Ryan? You know, you've got to get that eye, because it's all very well to do one thing, but then that's got to link to the next piece on the other table,
I mean,
to the next table.
Yeah, so that's something I still try and learn, because obviously he's way, way, way better than me. I'm sort of intermediary kind of level, so smallish structures I can do. So yeah, it's literally just you build one thing and think, how can I make this work with something else? So a lot of the time you'd build, say, a big pyramid, a spiral, and then it's about trying to join them together in a way that's going to work, instead of it stopping halfway and then you're just stuck with one that's not fell and one that's gone.
Yeah, and the aim is always to topple.
Always to topple. Do you only build to topple?
It's a metaphor for life, isn't it? Because I've seen, I think the first time I saw it would have been on Record Breakers when I was a kid or something, you know. And I've seen them flat on one level and you build towers, you know, and it's a bit like building a house of cards. Once you've done it, you're furious if someone walks past and knocks it over, aren't you? But that's your aim, to do that, to knock it over.
Exactly that, yeah. Obviously, you want to be able to make it to the end, and then you have that structure. You've built that. It's that like sense of achievement. You've managed to build that, and then the fun part is you get to destroy it after and do it all over again.
So here's where people can go. If you go on Instagram, look for Topple Academy. Do it now. You'll see the work of Ricardo and Ryan. On TikTok, you got how many followers on TikTok?
On my personal one, I had about 30,000. On our business one, it's a little bit less.
Yeah, well, you're just starting out, aren't you?
We're just starting out, yes.
Yeah. If you go to Ricardo's Dominoes on YouTube as well, you can see some of this stuff. And how do you create a living out of it?
So, I've worked full-time alongside this. It's just kind of been a hobby that we're now trying to make it into a bit of a living. Yeah. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to teach people how to do it with Topple Academy. So we're running workshops, we're doing events, we're trying to get people to know about this exists, that you can do this for fun. You don't have to be 6-7 years old. You can be a fully grown adult. You could be 60-70 years old, and you just set up dominoes, knock them down. And you find joy in that. Okay. I've found joy in it, and so anyone can.
So what do you need then? You need tables, you need a surface like this, because I used to do it in carpet and it doesn't work.
Don't work on carpet.
Don't work, does it?
Not at all.
So you need tables.
Yes.
Or a floor.
A floor works.
You know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just anything flat, basically, yeah.
Yeah. So do people come to you, or do you go to them to teach it?
So what we've been doing at the moment, we've been taking my dominoes to Rushden Lakes at just a workshop class there.
And you've got how many?
I have 10,000.
You've got 10,000
which is plenty enough for many people. Way too many just for me. But yeah, we just bring the dominoes to that workshop. There's just a room for us to do it, and then we let people set them up. I'll teach them how to do it. I'll teach them the basics of how to hold a domino when you stand it up, how to do a spiral, how to do just a straight line, how far apart you want the dominoes to be so they do fall down. And that's like the basics of what we're teaching. But we're taking it, we're just going wherever we can with the dominoes. There's not a place for anyone to come to us at the moment. I'm not going to invite everyone to my house, but
although that would be great.
It would be great.
Can you cook? Can you do dinner for people?
We're going to be hiking up the prices if that's the case. But otherwise, like the library as well has been a perfect place because they have so many tables, the space for activities. We're just bringing the dominoes there and letting people be aware that they can use them to do this art.
Well, you've got half-term workshops coming up in February, do you not?
Yes, so Tuesday the 18th.
Tuesday 18th, you've got 4 sessions.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So as soon as you've toppled one, you've got to build the next one, haven't you?
Yeah.
That's a full day's work, isn't it, this?
Yeah, it's so much fun.
It's at Discover Northamptonshire hub in Rushden Lakes for this one, yeah?
That's the one, yeah.
Very good. It's £9 per session. You can book already if you go to Eventbrite. The best place to go to find a link to that, because you can see the story of the boys and see their wonderful work. It's toppleacademy.com. You've done works of art. You do abstract stuff like, you know, chains and going to towers, but you've done works of art. You do faces, don't you?
I've done yes, I've done some faces. I've done some album covers. I've done some just names written down. I've done some logos for TV. I've done some other brands as well. And so yeah, that's more so of the planning things, but that's what I mean when I say it is limitless what you can do. If you have enough of a certain colour, or if you've got enough creativity up in your brain up here, you can create whatever you want. And so what I've done with some brands, I've had some deals, and that's where the money probably comes in a little bit more.
So where's it taken you then, this skill?
This skill, I done an advert for Domino's Pizza during COVID in 2021.
I mean, that's an obvious shoe-in, isn't it? That's a perfect fit. Domino's Pizza.
It just had to be the one.
Didn't it?
But
so what did you do? You created the pizza, or you did the Domino's Pizza logo?
Created pizza. What they did is they made their own Dominoes, which had their Domino's Pizza logo, so the blue and the red on the top and the bottom. And then me and another artist from Austria, he flew over, and we worked on a project down in Pinewood Studios in London to make those adverts and those idents. And we made a big field to say, we got this, which was their slogan at the time, and then just a bunch of other small tracks going around pizzas and just showing like that fun aspect of you can topple Domino's and you can also eat Domino's pizza, I guess.
How clever. And then did that lead to something else? I mean, is there like a domino effect, if you will, in your work? Someone sees it and books you again to do it?
Essentially, yes.
Yeah.
If people are seeing that and people are knowing what I'm able to do, then yeah, they can book me, they can book us as Topple Academy, but they can book us to make specific artwork for their brand, for themselves, for their business. I can make anyone's logo if I've got the colours, if someone just wants that for fun. So, yeah.
It's amazing. It's amazing. And Ryan, the thing is, when you've got the dominoes standing up, you've got two pictures effectively, haven't you? You've got that one standing up.
And then when it goes down as well,
Yeah.
because I know you've been doing a project, I don't know how much you can talk about it in the minute.
All of it, you can tell all of it. There's no one listening, you'd spill.
Well, they've made specially, so they're basically one colour while they're up, and then when they're down, it's another colour, so it's creating a whole nother picture. So obviously a lot of planning and artwork goes into that, and that's a lot more technical, which is sort of where I take a step back.
At the moment.
Yeah, at the moment.
Yeah,
of
yeah.
course. Yeah.
Are there many of you in the world? This fella from Austria is one. Are you in a field of two?
I think in total there's between about 80 and 90, so we've not even broken the 100 mark across the entire globe of domino artists. And in the UK, it's myself and Ryan, and then there's a handful of others who aren't quite over 18 yet, and then there's one other up in Manchester. But like, that's it. It's just us. It's so niche. But every time we run these workshops, people love it. And so I want to just spread that, make it available for people to do. Because
I'm already thinking in my mind's eye of this table. It's a curved table that's got the equipment in the middle, and I'm sitting one side, you're sitting on the other, and it's kind of a squished kidney shape, isn't it? This, you know,
It's a good shaped table. You can do some great things on it.
it's perfect. You could do that side, we could do this side, and we connect it at the end.
I would love that. I would love it because it's perfect. I always think here, you know, because I've been doing this a long time and I love my job, but there are days when boredom sets in. If I had like a train track going around, you know, from there, just, you know, as we're talking, because there's room here, I've got 6 inches this side and then I've got 2 foot here. It could loop around. Well, if it were dominoes, can you imagine? The minute there's a dull news story coming over there, tip a domino over and suddenly you've got your own art formed.
Exactly
Perfect
that.
here. Perfect. Have you done outdoor dominoes?
Doesn't really work with the wind in this country.
You did the big wooden block ones.
Yeah, we've done wooden blocks outside, and then
Well, like Jenga pieces, big old blocks.
yeah, we've done Jenga pieces outside, and then at an event that we did last June, we were at a music festival, and their whole theme was domino toppling. And what they did is they painted wooden blocks throughout the day with different colours and things like that, and then we set that up as like the finale of the event, and it all toppled. It didn't necessarily work perfectly, but they all toppled outside, and it was like this big event that everyone chased it around to see how it fell. So yeah, it does work outside, just on a bigger scale.
Yeah. And then you get rounds of applause when it's done, doesn't it? It's
So
amazing.
as I say, people love it. Like, no matter how old you are, it's just, there's something really satisfying about watching stuff break and fall, essentially.
Yeah, but that's all
that's
it
it,
is.
yeah.
I mean, you can't analyse it beyond that. But then there's something quite magical about it. The biggest number that you've worked with, then, you've got 10,000. Have you used them all in one piece?
The most that I've set up was actually at the Rushden Library in September. That was, I think, 4,500 just for me. So that took me across 2 days, probably about 10 hours work in total, which is like a hefty amount of work.
And then
but
it's over in what time?
Probably less than a minute. That was probably about 40 seconds, but like it was worth it. It was such an achievement for me because it was the most I'd done, and it all worked perfectly. I can't ask for any more than that.
It did.
Yeah.
And as it got to the last table, you've got some, I guess, librarians, people who work there, standing with open mouths. It's like they couldn't speak.
Yes.
You know, it's like you've got the final building to collapse, and they're going, "Come on, come on!"
Yeah.
And then they all clap. You know?
Yeah, once it's all down, people are like, "That is incredible!" And every time, people just shower us with compliments, and it's just like it's just fun for me. But to see how much appreciation everyone else finds in it, like,
That was brilliant, man.
it's just grateful.
It's brilliant. People now will spend half their day they'll waste their Monday looking at your work by going on Topple Academy on Instagram. It's toppleacademy.com, and you're taking bookings already for the 18th of February,
Yes.
which is a Tuesday in half term. 4 sessions at Discover Northamptonshire Hub. That's at Rushden Lakes. Eventbrite is the place to go to book it, but if you go on the website, it's toppleacademy.com, and there's a link on there. Really good to meet you, Ricardo, Ryan. Really good. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.